Hurricanes, nature's most violent storms, can lay waste to cities and towns, leaving destruction in their wake. These powerful forces of nature are born over warm ocean waters, gathering strength as they travel, their swirling winds wreaking havoc upon making landfall. The devastation they cause is not limited to the high winds. The accompanying storm surge can cause equally catastrophic damage, flooding areas miles inland. Hurricanes are ranked on the Saffir-Simpson scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being the most destructive. This scale takes into account the storm's wind speed, storm surge, and the potential for damage. Each hurricane is unique, with its own path of destruction and lasting legacy. Over the years, the United States has borne the brunt of numerous hurricanes, each leaving an indelible mark on the nation's history. From the Gulf Coast to the eastern seaboard, no area is immune to their wrath. Today, we delve into the history of the 10 most dangerous hurricanes that have ever hit the United States. At number 10, we have Hurricane Camille, a Category 5 hurricane that struck the Gulf Coast in 1969. This formidable force of nature wreaked devastation primarily along the coastal regions of Mississippi, Alabama, and Virginia. The sheer might of Camille was evident in the towering storm surge that reached a staggering 24 feet. The hurricane's wrath was not only limited to the structural damage it caused, but also the tragic loss of human life. It is estimated that over 250 people lost their lives to this storm, a grim number that underscores the severity of its impact. The remnants of this hurricane left a trail of destruction in its wake, from flattened towns to devastated communities, and served as a harsh reminder of the relentless power of nature. So it is with a sense of respect and awe that we remember Hurricane Camille. Camille's impact is a stark reminder of the power of nature. Coming in at number 9, we have Hurricane Andrew, which devastated South Florida and Louisiana in 1992. This Category 5 hurricane carved a path of destruction, leaving behind a wake of devastation that is still remembered today. Particularly hard hit was the Miami area, where the storm's violent winds and rain left thousands of people without homes. The sheer force of Andrew was staggering. Its winds whipped up to a ferocious intensity, tearing apart buildings and ripping trees from the ground. Entire neighborhoods were flattened, businesses were swept away, and the landscape was forever altered. The hurricane caused over $25 billion in damages, a sum that was almost unimaginable at the time. The aftermath was a scene of utter chaos, with people picking through the rubble of what was once their homes, trying to salvage what they could. The destruction was so widespread and so total that it took years for the area to recover. Andrew's destruction marked it as one of the costliest hurricanes in U.S. history. At number 8, we have Hurricane Hugo, a Category 4 hurricane that hit near Charleston, South Carolina in 1989. This menacing storm brought with it a storm surge of over 20 feet, causing significant damage along the South Carolina coast and reaching into the interior. Homes were flattened, trees uprooted, and entire communities were left in shambles. But the destruction didn't stop at the coast. Hurricane Hugo continued its path of devastation well inland. It ripped through towns and cities, leaving nothing but destruction in its wake. The impact was so severe that power was knocked out for weeks in some areas. Lives were disrupted as people struggled to cope with the aftermath of the hurricane. The economic loss was staggering, running into billions of dollars. The recovery was long and arduous, leaving scars that lasted for years. Hugo's wrath was felt far and wide, with wind gusts reaching up to 140 miles per hour. This hurricane was a stark reminder of nature's terrifying power. Number 7 on our list is Hurricane Katrina, a Category 3 hurricane that struck the Gulf Coast in 2005. This storm is infamous for the catastrophic flooding that occurred in New Orleans due to the failure of the city's levees. But the devastation didn't stop there. Communities throughout the region faced widespread destruction, their homes and livelihoods washed away in the deluge. The storm's relentless winds and torrential rains left a trail of devastation that stretched far beyond the boundaries of New Orleans. The aftermath of Hurricane Katrina was a devastation never before seen on such a scale, permanently altering the landscape and the lives of those who called this region home. The storm claimed over 1,800 lives and caused an estimated $125 billion in damages. Katrina's impact was both deadly and costly, making it one of the most significant hurricanes in U.S. history. At number 6, we have Hurricane Maria, a Category 5 hurricane that devastated Puerto Rico and the US Virgin Islands in 2017. This ferocious storm was relentless in its destruction, leaving in its wake a level of devastation akin to a war zone. The power grid of Puerto Rico was virtually wiped out, plunging the entire island into darkness for months on end. This widespread power outage disrupted every facet of life, from communication to healthcare. The situation was further exacerbated by a severe humanitarian crisis. Essential resources such as food, water, and medical aid were dangerously scarce, leading to a desperate struggle for survival. The aftermath of Maria was a stark reminder of the sheer power of hurricanes and the vulnerability of our human-made systems. The island's recovery was a testament to human resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. Maria's devastation was felt deeply, with an estimated death toll of over 3,000. Coming in at number 5, we have Hurricane Michael, a Category 5 hurricane that struck the Florida Panhandle in 2018. This storm was an absolute monster, with wind speeds exceeding 160 miles per hour. Imagine the force of those winds, capable of ripping apart buildings and uprooting trees like they were mere toothpicks. Not only did Michael bring with it devastating winds, but it also caused a storm surge of up to 14 feet. That's the equivalent of a one-story building of water crashing onto the shore, obliterating everything in its path. The Florida Panhandle had never before seen a hurricane of this magnitude, and the destruction it left behind was a grim testament to its power. Entire towns were wiped off the map. Homes were reduced to rubble, and countless lives were forever changed. Michael's fury was unmatched, making it the strongest hurricane on record to hit the area. At number 4, we revisit Galveston, Texas, with the Great Galveston Hurricane of 1900. This storm is etched in history as an event of unparalleled devastation. A mere glance at the death toll reveals the magnitude of this disaster. The estimated loss of life ranges from 6,000 to a staggering 12,000 individuals, marking it as the deadliest natural disaster in US history. The city of Galveston was left in ruins. Homes, businesses, and lives were swept away by a storm surge reaching up to 15 feet. The hurricane's winds, coupled with the surge, resulted in widespread destruction, making it an event that reshaped the coastal landscape and left a lasting mark on the city's history. In the face of such a disaster, the resilience of the human spirit was put to the test. The city rebuilt, and in doing so, it bore witness to the strength and determination of its people. The Great Galveston Hurricane remains the deadliest natural disaster in US history. Coming in at number 3, we have Hurricane Irma, a Category 5 hurricane that hit the Caribbean and southeastern United States in 2017. Irma's wrath was felt far and wide, causing catastrophic devastation in the Virgin Islands and Barbuda. These islands were nearly wiped off the map, with Irma's furious winds and storm surge decimating homes, infrastructure, and natural landscapes. But Irma was not done yet. She then set her sights on Florida. Making landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, Irma tore through the Sunshine State, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake. Cities were flooded, homes were destroyed, and millions were left without power. The sheer scale of Irma's impact was staggering. From the Caribbean to the United States, no place in Irma's path was left unscathed. The lives of countless individuals were forever changed by this powerful storm. Irma's path of destruction spanned across multiple countries, leaving a lasting impact. At number 2, we have Hurricane Harvey, a Category 4 hurricane that made landfall in Texas in 2017. Harvey was not just a storm, it was a water event of epic proportions. The downpour was relentless, as the storm stalled over the Houston metropolitan area, dumping over 50 inches of rain in some places. This deluge led to catastrophic flooding, submerging neighborhoods and displacing thousands of residents. The city of Houston was transformed into a vast inland sea. The damage Harvey inflicted was immense. The economic toll of the storm was staggering, with estimates of over $125 billion in damages. Over 100 lives were tragically lost to the storm. But Harvey's legacy isn't just in its destruction, it's in the record books as well. The rainfall from Harvey set records, making it one of the wettest tropical cyclones on record in the United States. And at number 1, we have the 1915 Galveston hurricane, one of the deadliest hurricanes in US history. This monstrous storm descended upon Galveston, Texas in August of 1915, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The storm surge, an overwhelming wall of water pushed ashore by the hurricane, reached heights of up to 16.4 feet. An unstoppable force that obliterated everything in its path. The death toll from this hurricane is estimated to be around 275 souls, a staggering number that underscores the sheer devastation this hurricane wrought upon the people of Galveston. Homes, businesses, entire lives were swept away in the blink of an eye. The 1915 Galveston hurricane serves as a stark reminder of the immense power that hurricanes possess, the devastation they can bring, and the profound impact they have on the lives of those in their path. The 1915 Galveston hurricane reminds us of the immense power and devastation hurricanes can bring. These 10 hurricanes stand as stark reminders of the power and devastation that nature can unleash. From Hurricane Camille's catastrophic damage in the Gulf Coast to Andrew's widespread devastation in South Florida and Louisiana. We've been through the deadly storm surge of Hugo in South Carolina and the tragic flooding caused by Katrina in New Orleans. We've revisited the humanitarian crisis following Maria in Puerto Rico and the record-breaking Michael in Florida Panhandle. We've remembered the deadliest disaster in U.S. history, the Great Galveston Hurricane, and Irma's destruction in the Caribbean and southeastern United States. We've recalled the wettest tropical cyclone on record, Harvey, and the deadly 1915 Galveston hurricane. These storms have left indelible marks on our history and our landscapes. As we continue to witness the impacts of these storms, it is crucial to remember the importance of preparedness and resilience in the face of nature's fury.